Great stuff, guys. Keep them coming in. Keep us posted. We want to know what you're doing. You never know how your activities could motivate somebody else. Believe me, it's true. Alright, so you put something in, someone's having a bad morning, you could send them off, and that's worth doing. Alright, so the main subject, what you've all been here waiting for, the top 5 tips for running consistency, for consistently running, because consistency is key for improvement. So that's what I'm going to give you. I'm not going to give you the normal shit everybody gives you, so stay till the end. We've got some bellers, you do not want to miss it. Alright, so top tip number 1, leave your ego at the door. Alright, so leave your ego at the door. Stick to the plan. Alright, stick to the route you've planned. Too often we go out running and we decide, we just change our minds and turn left instead of right, or just think, oh no, this route will be better. Stick to your route. Stick to your mileage, what you've got planned. If you have a coach or you have a plan that you're following, stick to it. Do the mileage for that day, unless something's going terribly wrong. If it's a little bit tough, tough it out. Just get it done. Stick to the plan. Stick to the pace. Alright, if you've got a pace set by your coach or a pace that you've been following. Hello, David Connor. If you've got a pace that you're following, stick to it. Alright, so leave your ego at the door. Stick to the plan. Alright, second part of leaving your ego at the door. Don't let that first fast mile that we always do. When we go on running, the first mile's always a fastie, innit? You get out, you know, you're feeling good, you get going, and the first mile's a fasting. Then you run into the problem, you think that the fucking Strava police are watching, and you've got to impress people. Because if I go out and do a 6-minute mile, mile 1, and then my second mile, where I've settled in and I should be running 8-minute miles, obviously talking about myself here, you're running 8-minute miles like you should be, you know, you're thinking everyone thinks I've blown out a puff after that first 6-minute mile, so you get it into your head, forget all that shit, forget everybody at home sat on the couch looking at Strava, you just go and do your training and stick to the right pace. So stick to the route, stick to the plan, stick to the mileage, stick to the pace. Don't let that first fast mile equal 10 fast miles, alright? And the last part of leaving your ego at the door is, just forget about that Strava pressure. Concentrate on yourself, alright? So, that was point number 1, leave your ego at the door. Tip number 2, strength and conditioning. Boom, all-seeing, almighty male, alright? I know I've got no guns, it's alright. If you aren't already incorporating strength training, prepare for injury, alright? Because it's coming, at some point it's coming. If you're not putting it into your routine or your program or anything like that, guarantee you've got injuries coming. All of us get injuries. And then we all become the world's best stretcher. We're all stretching off, aren't we? Every day after every run, we're giving it all this. Yeah? That's just reactive. We've got to be proactive. We've got to be out there doing the stretches, doing the weight sessions. You don't have to fucking stretch if you're doing your weight training. You don't. You do it just because it releases a bit of sore muscles, but you don't have to do it. If you're strength training and getting it in right and doing it correctly, then you don't have to do all that stretching because you're in nick. You're safe. Your knees are going to be okay. All your protection's there. If you fall over, you're not going to break an arm or something. For you fellow running madmans. As well with the strength training, make sure it's implemented correctly into a routine. Alright? Make sure your training days, where you're doing your strength training, are on the right days. Make sure you're working the right body parts, doing the right exercises. Not only do you need to be working the right body parts and doing the right exercises, you need to be doing all this on the right days and the right amount of times a week. Alright? If you need any help with any of that, or you're a bit stuck, just reach out, drop me a text, we can have a little talk, alright? But even if you have another coach and they've told you when to do it and how to do it, or you've got a plan, follow it, do it as it says, because people know the shit. These people who are teaching you this, they know when to do it because they've got years of experience. Before I did any boxing, I spent years in the gym. I know how to do it, and so do these guys who you might be seeing as well. So make sure you follow it and you do the right muscles correctly, the right muscle groups, and the right amount of times a week. So that's top tip number 2, strength and conditioning. Don't just say ta-ta, alright, now's the time. Top tip number 3 for running consistency is keep it fun, alright? Don't be a boring Barney, alright? Don't be afraid to socialise on easy runs. A lot of us runners, fitness guys, we don't really go out drinking. I mean, I don't anyway, I'm a right loser. But I know a lot of guys don't. We don't have time for it. So if you've got a slow run planned and your pal runs a little bit slower than you, then run a bit fucking slower and have catch up. You know what I mean? Because that hour you spend running with your pal could be the only time you see him for a couple of months. Alright? I mean, I think I got out with one of the ex-Alpha guys, Jamie, a few weeks back. We went for a run, so we'd not seen each other for it, but that's the last time I've seen him in ages, so it just is nice if you can get out, you know, socialise, so it is kept fun. Try different things to keep it fun as well. Don't just go out doing the road runs every day. Try some hills, try some hill sprints, try some fells, try a fell walk, try some cycling. Try some cycling. Gives the legs a little rest off the running anyway, and the heart and the lungs, the aerobic system doesn't know what's training it. The legs might, the muscles might, but all this doesn't. It doesn't know what's working it hard or not. I've ran all my PBs of hard cycling. So mix it up, right? Don't be afraid to mix it up. So that's top tip number 3, keep it fun. Top tip number 4, plan your days, alright? Plan your days. And I don't mean, you know, Monday I'm going to do a run, Tuesday I'm going to do a run, Thursday I'll go to the gym. When you wake up in the morning, I have my guys in my program planning the days, alright? So literally write when you're going to work, when you're doing a school run, for example, what you're going to eat that night, what time, this is the big one for you guys, what time you're going to train. Now, if you actually write on a bit of paper what time you're going to train, the chances of doing it increase by 50%. Guarantee, and that's an absolute fact. If you write 5 PM, I'm going to go for a run, the chances of you sticking to that because you put it on paper and committed to it increase by 50%. That is huge. So plan your days out, alright? It's massive. If you're not doing it, do it. Get organised. Organisation is key, alright? So plan your days. That's just taking all the fun right out of it, isn't it? Point number 3. But it's not, because you'll get it done and it's going to make you happy because you're consistent. So, top tip number 5. Act like a runner when you're not running. Fucking good shit this, isn't it? You've not heard this before. So act like a runner when you're not running. What do I mean? So, if you're walking around, living, you know, your best kebab life when you're not training, or you know you're not implementing your weight training or anything like that, or you go to work and you just become a complete slob and eat what you want, or just do what you want. You're lazy. You're not in that mindset of being a runner. So the chances of being consistent and consistently running are going to decrease. Right? You've got to walk around like a runner all the time. You've got to have a smart pair of running trainers that you just walk around in, because they're going to be your next running trainers. And you constantly got running trainers on your feet. Things like that. You know, Darren Haney, who's a big fan of this guy, I see him walking around with his running caps on backwards all the time. He's a fucking runner walking around. You've got to be in that mindset. Alright? If you're a runner, be in the runner's mindset. Be talking about running. Be reading about running. Watch running. You know what I mean? Get into it. Become the runner. Think about how you can improve your running. That'll bring you in your strength and conditioning, because you know you're going to get a better performance from strength and conditioning. It's going to help strengthen your glutes, strengthen your legs, protect you from injury. So it's going to have you all that kind of stuff. It's going to have you thinking about leaving your ego at the door and doing your runs correctly. You know, it's going to bring into your mindset, because you are mindset. Cheers, Darren. Because you are mindset orientated. You're thinking about running. No, today, Ben, it's 10-minute miles, and you're going to stick to it because you've got that. You're thinking about running, being a runner when you're not running. All right. Also, you're going to be getting your sleep. You know you got to go to bed an hour early to get up an hour earlier. Alright? So it's little things like that where you're thinking about it all the time. You're going to be so much more productive. You're going to get so many more runs in. You're going to eat better. You're going to eat what you need to eat to recover from your runs. You're going to eat what you need to eat to fuel your runs. And it's just all going to be there from acting like a runner when you're not running. So that's my top 5 tips for you. Leave your ego at the door, strength and conditioning, keep it fun, plan your days, act like a runner when you're not running. Tell me that wasn't fucking excellent. Thank you, boys. Good night.